There are various ways of dealing with this particular type of equation. One way would be to expand the brackets, so we can try doing that. So if I were to expand the bracket with this, I'd have a times b, which gives me ab, and then a times negative x, which would give me negative ax, equals c. So at the moment, once I've expanded those brackets, I've got this expression here, and there are various ways of dealing with this. One way might be to add ax to both sides, so I would get ab minus ax equals c, and if I add ax to both sides, well, we can see that negative ax and positive ax, these two will cancel to 0, equaling 0. And on the left hand side, we're just left with ab. So we have ab is equal to c plus ax. Now, we still need to isolate this x, which means we need to look at that c and do the opposite of that positive c. So we're going to minus c from both sides. So we get ab is equal to c plus ax. And we're going to minus c on the left hand side, minus c on the right hand side. And we can see again the same trick. There you've got a positive c and a negative c, and these two will cancel each other out and equal 0. So we're left with ab minus c is equal to ax. So the x is being multiplied by a, and it's a positive a, so the opposite of multiplying through by positive a is we're going to divide by positive a. So the next term would be dividing through by positive a, and so this would equal over a. So this is being divided through by a, this is being divided through by a. Well, we can see that a divided by a is just going to equal 1. So we've got 1x on the right hand side here, but in algebra we just write x, we don't write 1x. So we have ab minus c over a is equal to x. Well, if we want x to be the subject of the formula, that means we need to write down the x on the left-hand side, and this goes on the right-hand side, so we're left with the answer So that's one way of dealing with this kind of equation, by expanding the brackets to give you that first expression there. Another way would be, instead of expanding the brackets, what we could do is we could divide both sides through by a. So, because at the moment, this bracket is being multiplied by a. So we could divide both sides by a, and this would give us, let's just rewrite that again. Well, if I divide both sides by a, I'm going to get over a on the left hand side, over a on the right hand side. Well, we can see that a divided by a, well, that cancels and that gives us 1 on the outside of the bracket. So 1 times b gives me b, and 1 times negative x gives me x. So all I have on the left hand side is just b minus x equals, and we have c over a. And again, there are various ways of dealing with this. What I might do here is add x to both sides, because we've got a negative x there and we want a positive x. So add x to both sides. So we'd end up with b minus x c over a, well, plus x on the left hand side, plus x on the right hand side. Now you can see that the negative x and the positive x, they cancel each other out and equals 0. So we're just left with b on the left hand side, and we've got c over a plus x. Well, we're nearly there. We just want the x by itself, so that means we need to do something with this term here, c over a. So we can subtract, at the moment this is a positive, so we can subtract both sides by c over a. So we get b equals c over a plus x. But if I subtract through both sides by minus c over a and minus c over a, well, this positive c over a and this negative c over a, they cancel, and we're just left with a positive x there. So that's what we're looking for. But we've got this term here, which is b minus c over a. And it doesn't quite look the same as that term there, this answer solution here. So what we need to do is, we could leave it like this. The question doesn't say we need to go any further, but if you wanted to clean this up a bit and make it look a bit nicer, what you'd want to do is you'd want to multiply this term by a fraction top and bottom, a over a. So we're going to multiply this term here by a over a, so a over a. So a over a times b, that a over a is just equal to 1, so it doesn't fundamentally change this term b. So this doesn't change at all, that part, and there's the x there. So you can see here that now by multiplying this b by a at the top and dividing it by a at the bottom, a divided by a is just equal to 1. So you're just multiplying the b by a 1. So it hasn't changed, but the nice thing is that it now has the same denominator. Just like in fractions, you need to have this a common denominator. So now we can just do ab minus c all over a equals x. And if you look carefully, this is exactly the same answer as we wanted before. ab minus c over a, ab minus c over a. All you do now is you need to just write it, switch both sides, x on this side and this time on that side, so you get x equals a minus b c over a, and that's your solution there.